NNPP 428 640. NNPP 1808 1808 NRM 414 414 BDP 15749 15749 BRB SDP 95 103 95 SDP YB 103 290 103 290 YBP 290 1089 10LB 1089 1089 Total valid votes 456 424 Rejected votes 456 424 467 Rejected votes 12467 12467 891 Total votes cast 468 891
Thank you very much.
468 891 Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Any places where elections did not hold or cancellations?
Yes, Chairman, we had overvoting and disruption in Aninri, Uduma 2, and Ezago had disruption in Imbo in Ogu. We also had disruption in Imbo in Ogu. Those are the three areas that were affected.
Okay, total number of registered voters and PVCs collected. Are they all in the 40G?
Yes, they are. I've compiled them.
Okay, any comments, any observation on the Abia result? Sorry, Enugu result. Okay, thank you very much. Please step forward to present the result.
Should we know that it's a data missing? No, her data is 4. Okay, your 6 is 8. My child. Any other? No, the number says overworking and destruction in
Are we going to do all these things separately? Me, I'm tired.
You don't say they keep like that.
Go live or get a video short. Go live together.
Translation of results is important. You have to activate it. If not, the activate is after 2020. That's after. Because we've not used it before. It's more like a finger.
No, maybe before 2027,
Chinese are not eligible.
life gadgets. We don't have cover life.
I sent them a
Okay, I understand that Lagos is around.
to do life.
So let's give Lagos a few minutes. Okay, I understand that is around before presenting the results. So let's give Lagos a few minutes to cross-check with the Collation Secretariat before presenting the result. So we give Lagos a few.
We can go there and be writing.
Few minutes.
Down these things there. Yes.
We have the announcements from the National Collation Center, wherein the results were just called out from the figures there. Ambassador, what do you think?
So, I mean, democracy is, supposed to be government for the people, by the people. This is what is unfolding, right? I think that it's very unique that we're seeing a lot of surprises. But as far as I'm concerned, these positions are no one's inheritance, right? And it is only, one thing that must be clear is that election is a pathway to good governance, right? And so this is an opportunity. If you have been voted out and somebody new has been voted in, this is an opportunity to give governance to the people. It's about the people. And I know that we're currently going through a process that is painful, that people have different opinions about, but I think that the Nigerian people should see it as a win through and through. And that's why I said, whatever it is that we're looking at, even in the process, we must prioritize the Nigerian people. And so the surprises are pleasant, is a pleasant surprise, a breath of fresh air. And I think it's important for people to know that public office, elective or appointed, is about giving the people good governance. And I think we're seeing it unfold.
Well, they're taking a break right now. I think Lagos is about to do its own announcement of the results, which we also heard from the local, that's the State Collation Center earlier. But perhaps in line with what some of the agents have been raising, the national chairman has asked the resident electoral commissioner to make sure they've cross-checked their figures, and that's why we have this lull right now. I don't know whether what exactly would they be cross-checking, Mr. Uzi? Can you let us know?
They might check whether the figures will add up, whether there's overvoting in any particular local government, whether there's overvoting in the whole state constituency, the total number of accredited voters according to the beavers, that read from beavers, is equal or less than the total number of valid and invalid votes. The beavers records all the cards of the people who have come to vote and computes it, adds it up. Whereas if you have they will compare that with the figure endorsed in the result sheet, ECHC, and also add the total number of valid votes of all the parties and invalid votes and see to whether there's a discrepancy. But I think there's also this issue of the polling unit result transmitted from onto the server. And the issue is that, to be fair, the chairman at this stage cannot be comparing 178,000 polling unit results. So it is deemed that they should have done so probably at the lowest level, which is the RA coalition. Who should have done so? The first coalition officer. And I think what he wants is the assurance that that has been done. If the chairman is satisfied that that was done, which in this case hasn't been done because there are very few, 40% you computed earlier on. As of today, that is about 40% complete. As of an hour ago. So these are the kind of things that we.
Okay, so it's too late for the chairman to do that comparison, but
Supposed to do that, but you don't expect the chairman to come every coalition officer because it doesn't discriminate. The section you read, section 64,
yeah.
64 does not. Let's just go back to 64.4 as well. A coalition officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the result of. I don't think the law, if you separate that way, it will lead to an absurdity.
So, is there any implication of that walkout?
No. You cannot compel an agent to be represented at the collation center. If they work out, the process can continue. It doesn't invalidate whatever is being done there.
What about on the integrity of the process?
It calls to question. There are two different things: the legality of that, and then the perception. So yes, it could affect the perception. I'm sure there are quite possibly a lot of their supporters. Some would disagree that you should not the outcome of that process. So everything that happens diminishes the process. All that we're saying in social media also diminishes the process. Whether it's good, whether it's justified or not, it's a totally different thing.
Prof, what will your assessment be?
Well, I think that there's a serious issue here because if the political parties in their numbers work out, it's a very symbolic behavior which detracts from the legitimacy of the entire process. And I'm very sure that INEC chairman is not taking it lightly. And that's why he's particularly concerned about having any kind of repeat of discrepancy from now on. But more importantly, remember the reason why he's proceeding with the announcement of the results is simply that he says he's satisfied that the required processes are observed at the lower levels, because he's going to do the collation of these returns that are coming from the state and add them up for the final result. But those who were at the decentralized level are those who are expected to have exercised due diligence. In fact, even the uploading of the results at the polling unit level is also supposed to have been done by the presiding officer at that particular polling unit. So all of these have not clearly, because the uploading is taking so much time, and we still have less than 40% of the results uploaded. It's questionable whether due diligence has been done by those officers.
Professor, if I could ask you, when Makwe did say, the chairman was saying that Lagos should take a moment and cross-check and make sure certain things are done, as a communication person, in context of what had transpired previously, how does that come across? Because, people internalize these things differently.
Yes.
Wouldn't some say, so the chairman is not trying to do the right thing, which should have done before, or what?
Really good question. And I think that it's important for us to let Nigerians know what is at stake, right? And I know that as we speak here, there's so many conversations happening, but let's break it down. If it is taking 2 days, 48 hours to upload 66,000 results for the polling units, we can assume based on that baseline, so a baseline has already been established, right, that it will take another 3 days, 72 hours to upload 176,000 polling units. So, Chamberlain, ask me, if the chairman says now, let's take a break for 3 days, you tell me what's going to happen. And it's important for us to have this conversation so that people know what's at stake, right? So I hear that we want to have this argument about right and wrong, but I think the chairman, as the returning officer, based on what we have read, has made a call, haven't considered everything. And these are the scenarios that we're saying. We thought the IREV was going to work, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Nobody could have predicted.
The eyes have it.
Nobody could have predicted that we'd find ourselves here. And I think that that's what it is. So and that's why people run organizations. People are in positions of leadership. And so he has to take responsibility at this point, evaluate everything that's before him, and make a call. And I think that that's the call that he has made, because 3 days of silence, the same people who would go, if we were to vote, that will go in that direction, when we return to the same process where we're now showing those things, we'll say something else?
Well, there's a law at the National Collation Center at the moment. Everyone's waiting for, I think, Lagos State to come up with its results, and they're taking time probably to check out those figures and ensure that they do tally. But we do know that some parties walked out. And
Well, I don't think they're going to ask them, is it on IREM?
well, it wouldn't be a good idea if they accidentally. A lot of people would have expected that at the National Collation Center, behind the chairman would be that big screen, whereas they're calling out the numbers with just a flashing. That would have been really
So they're showing it
interesting.
electronically, but you're right. There are people expecting for the actual downloaded picture. It will be a lot.
Quite a number of scenarios that we are currently witnessing right there at the National Collation Center. I mean, some silence there, and you can almost hear it. It was a silence, it was the silence of the graveyard while, the collation process is going on. I wanted to quickly just, ask about how it is that we're managing, the expectations of the public. So far, so good. Some of the results that have been declared have already been declared at the state level. So a number of people have already started seeing their results there, and the outcome in some instances have been shocking. In some instances, were almost expected. People, the lawmakers at some level were already beginning to know who they are in the states that have been declared. Some surprises. It looks like quite a number of old faces that were at the National Assembly are not going to be coming back. So far, so good. But I am just wondering, at the state level right now, in Lagos, for instance, we've seen statements made by the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress calling for calm there. We've also heard that the governor of the state, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has also released a statement urging calm. What do you think should be going on at the state level right now with the results that have been declared, and also even with the tension that is palpable at the National Collation Center?
First of all, in one sense, what has been declared are provisional results in the presidential election at the state level. They are provisional results that still have to be brought to Abuja. The chief returning officer, and chief electoral commissioner, still has to make may still have to make a call as to, look, I don't accept this part or that part, or I reject what you brought here. You'll go back and conduct supplementary elections because of overvoting, because of this, because of that. So you have to be very careful what is being announced, rather than use that. What is being announced? It's for the return.
That is at the presidential
level.
Yes,
but for some of the Senate and House of Representatives,
yes,
that is a result subject. Section 65 makes it subject to the decision of the commission that this was in line, first of all, that it was voluntarily made, and that it was in line with the Electoral Act and administratively with the regulations. So if there's any serious protest, I'm not aware, the commission hasn't done an outline of how you can register such protests. It could come from the resident electoral commissioner, and I presume it can come from any of the candidates or the political parties. So for 7 days after that declaration, if after 7 days the commission has not overturned or pronounced that one, then it is deemed it's now a final result, and you have to go to tribunal to challenge it. So people should be careful about all this. I think I like what is going on now, that they appeal for calm, and people should be reasonable. There are ways of resolving differences and issues. One of the ways is this commission can administratively deal with this provisional result. Otherwise, you will probably have to go to court. But it's important that let the peace accords not be a hollow ritual. Let it not be something that we're not determined or committed to right from time. So I expect the candidates and the parties to do something to calm the situation.
All right, we will do something right now. We'll go to a commercial, and we will be back afterwards.